The stars forgot us. They labeled Earth a graveyard, a cautionary tale scrawled in ash and silence. But beneath the ice and ruin, we forged a language they'd never understand. Vengeance whispered through welded steel. Defiance etched in stolen alien code. Now our dreadnoughts darken their skies, each hull carved with the names of the dead. Yet the galaxy still doesn't see the truth. Our greatest weapon isn't fire or fury. It's a silver locket cracked open in the Arctic snow. Its hinge rusted with old blood and older lies. What did the Andari miss? The answer will burn their empires to cinders and rewrite history in the scorch marks. Earth remembers. The galaxy will scream. Please wait. Before we start, tap that iCard button in the top right corner and smash that subscribe button. Please do it now. Hit the notification bell so you're first in line when new stories land. Alright, let's dive into the story. The Arctic wind howled through the skeletal remains of the research station, biting at Marcus Vey's exposed skin as he welded the final plate onto the Dreadnought's hull. His gloves were threadbare, fingertips numb, but he refused to stop. Every spark from his torch hissed against the icy metal, casting jagged shadows across the ship's monstrous form, a Frankenstein's monster of Andari alloy and salvaged Terran steel. Somewhere beneath the welds and rivets, he'd carved two letters. LV, you are gonna freeze to death before this thing even lifts off, called Priya Shah, her voice muffled by the scarf wrapped around her face. She crouched beside a cracked Andari power core, her breath frosting the screen of a stolen datapad. A battery's at 89%, not exactly optimized, genius. Marcus squinted at her through the snow. Since when did you care about optimization? Weren't you the one hot-wiring Andari shuttles with a butter knife? She snapped, tossing a frozen circuit board at him. It shattered against the hull. And that shuttle got 6 kids out of Reykjavik. Your masterpiece here's just a glorified scrap heap, a scrap heap with teeth. Marcus patted the hull, the metal groaning under his touch. Somewhere deep inside, the engine pulsed like a sleeping predator. Alila would have loved it. Priya's smirk faded. She glanced at the dog tags dangling from his neck. Lila Vey, 2038, etched beside his own. Yeah? What'd she call that teddy bear again? Mr. Snarls a lot. Mr. Snuggles a lot. A faint smile tugged at his chapped lips. A stupid name. A stupid kid. The word hung between them, sharp as the wind. A sudden crack split the air, ice shifting under the Dreadnought's weight. Priya scrambled back as a fissure snaked toward her boots. If this thing sinks into the glacier, I'm blaming your shoddy welding. I'll blame the Andari. He grabbed her arm, yanking her to solid ground. They're the ones who melted the permafrost. Hammond. Fire. Their bickering died as a shadow fell over them. Jasmine Cole stood at the ridge, her ion rifle slung across her back, goggles reflecting the auroras. Snow crunched under her boots as she descended, her voice flat. The garrison's rotating shifts. We've got a 10-minute window. Marcus wiped the grease off his face. 9 minutes? Last week you said 20. Last week they weren't missing 3 patrol drones. She tossed a mangled Andari sensor node at his feet. Your little test fire lit up their scanners like a supernova. Priya snorted. I told you the plasma coils were unstable. Unstable's better than dead. Marcus shot back. He turned to Jasmine. Can you buy us 5 more? She stared at him, her expression unreadable beneath the scarf. 5 minutes, and I'm blowing the East Ridge. Oh, what? That's our escape route. We should have thought of that before you turned Greenland into a fireworks show. She turned to leave, then paused. If you get my people killed, I'll weld you to this heap and launch it into the sun. Priya waited until Jasmine vanished over the ridge before muttering. She's way scarier than the Andari. Ex-third grade teacher, Marcus said, tightening a bolt. You ever met a kid who survived recess? The Dreadnought shuddered, ice cascading off its flanks. Priya's datapad chirped, a red alert blinking from the Andari orbital station. They're onto us. Shields are powering up. Then let's move. Marcus slammed his palm against the ignition panel. The engine roared to life, a sound like 1,000 avalanches. Ice sheets sheared away as the ship rose, its shadow swallowing the stars. Priya whooped, dripping a strut as the deck tilted. You did it, you crazy son of a... I'll target their reactor nexus. The targeting? This isn't a simulator. Priya stabbed at the controls, her laughter edged with panic. Since when do you know what a reactor nexus is? Since I stole your notes. The Dreadnoughts' cannons flared, plasma tearing through the orbital station's shields like paper. Fire bloomed in the void, silent and terrible. On the ground, Marcus collapsed against the hull, his laughter raw. You see that? They didn't even... Jasmine's voice crackled through their earpieces. Celebrate later. Dropships incoming. Debris rained down, burning shrapnel peppering the ice. Priya ducked as a chunk tore through the research station's roof. We need to go. Naukis didn't move. He stared at the flames, Lila's dog tags clutched in his fist. They'll keep coming. You know that. Oh, Jasmine materialized beside him, her rifle smoking. She grabbed his collar, hauling him toward the tunnels. Then we'll be ready. As they fled, something glinted in the snow, a silver locket half buried by ice. Jasmine scooped it up, her thumb brushing the engraving. AO, 1994. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Souvenir? She pocketed it without a word. Behind them, the Dreadnought's shadow stretched across the tundra, its hull still whispering a name only the stars could hear. The Amazon humidity clung to Priya's skin like a wet rag as she crouched inside the tribe's makeshift lab, a crumbling pre-invasion bunker hidden under a canopy of vines. Her fingers danced across a jury-rigged console, splicing Andari code with human algorithms. Sweat dripped onto the keyboard, sizzling against overheating circuits. Triads, she muttered, squinting at flickering holograms. Everything they build runs in threes. Shields, comms, even their goddamn toilets. A focus, Shah, Marcus growled, leaning over her shoulder. His breath reeked of stale coffee and desperation. Jasmine's buying us time, not a vacation. Priya threw a screwdriver at him. It clattered against the rusted wall. You want magic? Hack it yourself. Their encryption's a 3-layered labyrinth, but our neural nets, we think in sevens. Prime numbers, they. It's like the key they don't know exist. Outside, the jungle erupted in chaos, and Dari dropships screeched overhead, incinerating treetops with plasma bursts. Tribal warriors, faces tattooed with fractal patterns mimicking Andari circuitry, scurried up vines, hurling EMP grenades stolen from syndicate wreckage. A young fighter named Key, his arms coiled with bioluminescent paint, ducked into the bunker. A Defiance's core is overheating. The elders say we need 10 more minutes. At 10, Marcus barked. Jasmine said 5. Jen's busy being a decoy. Priya shot back, slamming her fist on the console. A hologram of the Amazon Dreadnought flickered, its hull bristling with salvaged railguns. Their shield frequency cycles every third harmonic. If I flood their sensors with a 7th phase pulse, Marcus grabbed her wrist. Will it work? She yanked free, grinning wildly. Either that or we turn Defiance into a very expensive firework. Above ground, Jasmine sprinted through burning ferns, her ion rifle blistering her palms. An Andari drone locked onto her, its whine piercing the smoke. Any day now. Eat this, you overgrown toaster. Priya slammed the entry key. The Andari ship stuttered mid-air, shields dissolving like sugar in the rain. Tribal archers loosed EMP arrows, their tips crackling with stolen tech. A dropship spiraled into the canopy, crushing a centuries-old gapok tree. Jasmine dove behind a moss-covered statue, some long-forgotten warlord, as shrapnel peppered the ground. And now you show off? Marcus's voice crackled through her earpiece. Defiance is online. Get clear. The earth trembled. From the jungle floor rose the second dreadnought, its hull plated with reforged syndicate steel and tribal ironwood. Vines snapped. Monkeys screeched. Defiance's engines roared, a sound like 1,000 howler monkeys as it punched through the atmosphere. Tree whooped as fractal tattoos glowing in the engine's glare. They'll tell stories about this the day the forest bit back. Priya emerged from the bunker, wiping grease on her pants. The stories won't stop the next fleet. Jasmine approached a fresh burn, streaking her cheek. She tossed Priya a dented Andari data core. Then make better stories. As night fell, Marcus found Priya dissecting the core. What's the verdict? Their scanners have a 3-pulse verification. But if I mimic a 7th, English Shah, she glared. I can fake their DNA checks. Sneak into their systems, maybe even find Lila's records. Marcus stiffened. The jungle sounds faded, the croak of frogs, the distant thrum of Defiance's engines. Oh, why? She deserves more than a dog tag and a scrap heap with guns. Because I can't with guns. Voice cracked. Well, I can't know what they... Jasmine appeared silently, her boots caked in ash. She placed the silver locket on the console. AL 1994 glinting in the hologram's light. You think you're the only one with ghosts, Vey? Open it, he hesitated. The locket clicked open, revealing a faded photo. A black woman in a 20th century protest shirt, arm around a grinning girl. Althea Lewis, Jasmine said. My grandma. Cops broke her jaw in 94. She still spit in their faces. Priya leaned closer. The virus, what if immunity's not random? What if it's this? She pointed to Althea's raised fist in the photo. The generations of fighting, of surviving. Marcus closed the locket gently. You're saying rage is genetic? No, Jasmine pocketed it. I'm saying we're better at it. Somewhere in the stars, the Andari garrison began to burn. The council chamber on Tarsus hummed with apathy, its crystalline walls reflecting the bored faces of 8 alien ambassadors. Only Andari Admiral Virax stood rigid, her clawed hand crushing the latest casualty report. They've named their ships Vengeance. This isn't random piracy. We need full fleet mobilization. Ambassador Krell, his gelatinous body quivering inside its nutrient orb, bubbled a laugh. Your pride's wounded, Virax. Send the 72nd Legion and some scrubbers. Burn a few nests. They'll crawl back into they're in your trade lanes now. Fuarak snarled, slamming a hologram of burning syndicate freighters onto the table. Your nests just cost you 6 million credits in plasma steel. High Arbiter Nalath raised a skeletal hand, silencing the room. Enough. Deploy the Verox. Krell's orb fogged with panic. That's a system killer. The Geneva Accords. Don't cite dead world treaties to me. Nalath's voice slithered through his respirator mask. Clean this mess, Virax. Quietly. 3 light years away, Priya choked on recycled bunker air as the intercepted order flashed across her screens. Marcus? Their cough. They're using Verox. Marcus stumbled over a tangle of cables, nearly spilling his tar-black coffee. The hell's Verox? Bioweapon. Targets telomeres. Accelerates aging. Her fingers flew across 3 keyboards at once, pulling up genome maps. Look, it bonds to specific gene markers. European descent mostly. Jasmine paused in cleaning her rifle, her frown sharp. Racist and genocidal. Classy. Wait, Priya zoomed in on a DNA strand, the hologram casting a sickly green light across her face. Some sequences are resisting like they're fighting the protein bonds. Marcus leaned in too close, his shadow swallowing the data. Immunity? More like evolutionary pushback. Priya grabbed Jasmine's arm, ignoring her snarl. Your blood work. Those anomalous telomeres. Jasmine yanked free. Get a damn consent first, Shaw. You don't get it? Priya shoved her datapad in Jasmine's face, the screen showing cascading genetic code. Your grandma survived riots. Your mom survived the invasion. Your cells learned to endure. The Verox might not. A proximity alarm blared. Marcus cursed, coffee sloshing as he lunged for the security feed. Dropship signature, 2 clicks west. Jasmine slammed a fresh battery into her ion rifle. Shut down everything. Now. No. Priya blocked the console, arms spread. I need 90 seconds to isolate the... Jasmine grabbed her collar, their noses inches apart. You've got 60. Or I drag you out unconscious. The Verox struck Berlin at dawn. Elderly survivors collapsed mid-sentence in the underground farms, their skin modeling like spoiled fruit. Children born post-invasion coughed up black sludge, their wails echoing through concrete tunnels. Faster. Marcus roared, clutching a squirming toddler as Priya drew blood from its arm. Hold her still. Priya jabbed the syringe, her hands trembling. The hologram above them flickered, strands of DNA unraveling like broken zippers. There, see that protein cluster? It's rebuilding the telomeres. Jasmine kicked open the medbay doors, dragging a wheezing engineer. Raise is stage 3, eyes hemorrhaging. Priya didn't look up. Inject him with my last vaccine prototype. Your prototype. Marcus stepped between them. You said it was untested. Everything's untested. Priya brandished a vial of murky liquid. But Jasmine's blood neutralized the Verox in vitro. This is diluted from her plasma. Jasmine froze. You used my blood without. You want to argue or save him? The toddler in Marcus's arms gurgled, black tears streaking her cheeks. He met Jasmine's glare. Do it. Jasmine snatched the vial and stabbed it into Ray's neck. Seconds ticked by. The engineer's breathing steadied, his milky eyes clearing. Worked. Priya whispered. Then louder. It worked. Marcus crushed her in a hug, the toddler between them giggling weakly. Jasmine stared at her hands. How much blood do you need? They found her body at 300 hours. Jasmine lay curled in a supply closet, the silver locket clutched to her chest. Her skin was gray, her lips cracked, but her expression was peaceful. Priya's scream brought Marcus running. He skidded to his knees, reaching for Jasmine's neck. "Don't!" Priya yanked him back. "Verox is airborne now. She must have hidden her symptoms." Marcus gently opened the locket. Althea Lewis smiled up at him, her fist raised beside a young Jasmine. "What?" Priya checked her scanner. Her telomeres, she burned them out fighting the virus, like a fuse. A choked laugh escaped Marcus. Always had to be the hero. Outside, the first snow of nuclear winter began to fall. It stuck to the locket's engraving, AL 1994. Somewhere in the stars, the Dreadnought Wrath fired its engines. The vaccine tasted like rust. Marcus gagged as Priya forced another dose down his throat. "Swallow it, you giant baby. You want to end up like her?" He shoved her away, wiping his mouth. "Don't." Priya brandished a syringe of shimmering crimson, Jasmine's last blood sample. "Her corpse is still warm and you're already sanctifying her. She'd kick your ass for this martyr crap." Marcus lunged, pinning Priya against the medbay wall. The vial trembled in her hand. "You don't get to talk about her. You used her just like the Andari." "She let me," Priya spat. "While you were crying over dog tags, she begged me to drain her dry. Said if her blood could save one kid, a child's wail cut through the tension." Marcus released Priya, stumbling back. In the corner, a toddler, Lena, 3 years old, her mother incinerated in the Berlin strike, shreffed black mucus onto her teddy bear. Priya gentled her voice, a skill she'd learned from Jasmine. "A needle or drink, Vay, your choice." Correct, the vial downed it, enriched. "A taste like betrayal." Trivar's oceans were so clear you could see the coral from orbit. Oblivion's shadow stained them ink black. "A target locked," Marcus growled, his finger hovering over the firing console. The Dreadnoughts bridge reeked of burnt wiring and sweat. Priya adjusted her headset, piggybacking on Trivar's emergency channels. Their governor's screaming for parley. You want to hear it? A play her last words? Static, then a rasping breath filled the bridge. Jasmine's voice, recorded hours before her death. "Tell them, Earth remembers. Marcus fired." Kinetic rods, repurposed Indari elevator cables, slammed into Trivar's capital. Glass towers folded like a house of cards. Priya whooped as the shockwave rippled. A direct hit. Shield generators toast. A hologram flickered, Governor Rell, his amphibian face contorted. "Please, we'll withdraw from the colonies. Marcus leaned into the feed. "Remember the camps? The kids you gassed for fun?" He tapped a command. "This is for Jasmine." Oblivion's belly split open, unleashing a swarm of drones, salvaged Indari harvesters retrofitted with flamethrowers. They dive-bombed Trivar's wheat fields, turning engineered grain into a firestorm. Priya gripped her armrests, knuckles white. "Marcus, the civilian sectors are shielded," he snapped, "targeting syndicate barracks only. Since when do you care about rules?" He flicked a photo onto the main screen. Jasmine and Althea's locket. On Tarsus, Virax watched Trivar burn. The council's panic smelled like burnt ozone. "Recall the fleets," she ordered her trembling aide. "Prep the Virax stockpiles." But Admiral, the Geneva's a crater. Virax slammed her fist into the hologram, scattering light particles. "The humans aren't just surviving, they're teaching. If we don't scorch their genome from the stars..." Her aide fled. Virax opened a hidden drawer, retrieving a vial of milky liquid. Verox Prime keyed to her DNA. Failsafe. Marcus found Priya in Oblivion's hold, staring at a cracked cryotube. Inside floated Jasmine's body, preserved in stolen Indari gel. "We should bury her," he said. "And waste the only immune specimen?" Priya didn't turn around. "Her cells are still fighting. I can clone antibodies, maybe even..." Marcus yanked her around. "She's not a specimen." Priya's laugh was hollow. "Should think she wanted flowers and a eulogy. The last thing she told me was use every piece." She tapped the locket around her neck now. "Including this." Marcus recoiled. "You took it?" As she gave it, said I'd need the reminder. Priya opened the locket, revealing Althea's photo. "This is our weapon now. Not the Dreadnought, not the Dreadnoughts. The fact that we outlive." A proximity alert blared. Priya sprinted to the bridge, Marcus on her heels. The main screen showed a massive Indari carrier, Virax's Revenge, gliding into orbit. "Incoming transmission." Priya said. Virax's face filled the screen, her scales dull with exhaustion. "A surrender, and I'll make your deaths quick." Marcus smiled. "You first." He fired Oblivion's thrusters, ramming the carrier. His metal screamed. Priya broadcasted Trivar's burning skies galaxy-wide. Somewhere in the dark, 1,000 slave revolts ignited. The Virox stockpiles burned in the asteroid belt, their containment pods erupting like infected boils. Priya whooped as Ashbourne's railguns pounded the debris field. "Told you ionic dispersion would ignite the virus." Marcus gripped the Dreadnoughts' shuddering console. "You also said it wouldn't blow back on us." A chunk of flaming rock slammed into the viewport, cracking the reinforced glass. Alarms wailed. Priya danced through the chaos, her headset broadcasting jazz over the comms. "Relax." I rerouted shield power to, "Engineering's on fire." Key's voice screeched through the speakers. "I need backup or we're space dust." Marcus lunged for the extinguisher. "Hold her steady, Shaw." "We're flying through an alien plague bomb." Priya dodged a sparking cable. Jasmine would have loved this. "Don't." Marcus kicked open the blast door. Heat seared his face as he plunged into the smoke-filled corridor. "You don't get to joke about her." On Tarsus, Virax stared at the live feed of Trivar's funeral pyre. Ambassador Krell's nutrient orb hovered nervously. The Virox failure, perhaps a ceasefire? Virax unsheathed her plasma dagger. "You misunderstand. This is the ceasefire." She plunged the blade into his orb. Kel spilled across the marble as he screeched, dissolving. Her aide froze mid-retreat. "Admiral, I recall the 12th Fleet. Scorch every human world." Virax licked Krell's acidic remains off her claws. "And bring me the Virox Prime." Marcus found Priya in Ashbourne's gutted med bay, injecting refugees with Jasmine's cloned serum. A toddler bit her arm, drawing blood. "Whoa, bad enough I play nurse, now I'm a chew toy. Marcus tossed her a bandage. "They're scared. Scared. I'm terrified." She jabbed a needle into a teen's thrashing arm. "This batch is only 63% effective. Side effects include a psychosis," the teen hissed, eyes bleeding black. He lunged, but Marcus pinned him down. Priya sighed. "A that. Also hair loss," the teen spasmed, then stilled. Marcus checked his pulse. "A dead. A napping." She adjusted the they probably. A proximity alert blared. Key's face streaked with soot filled the wall screen. A council fleet incoming. 30 clicks and closing. Marcus hauled Priya toward the bridge. "Time to test your upgrades." The 12th Fleet gleamed like a knife. Sleek Andari destroyers flanking the glory of Tyrix. Its hull etched with millennia of conquests. "I'll surrender." Virax's voice boomed through Ashbourne's speakers. "And I'll spare your children." Priya snorted. Original. She queued up Jasmine's last recording. Oh. Ruth remembers. The dead woman rasped across every frequency. Virax flinched. A fire. Space lit up. Ashbourne banked hard, dumping a cloud of Virox-laced debris into the fleet's path. Andari's shields flared, then failed as the virus ate through their systems. "Their engines are seizing." Key yelled. Marcus grinned. "Bring us about. Target there." A plasma beam sheared through Ashbourne's wing. The deck tilted violently. Priya slammed into the view screen, cracking the glass. "A shield's at 12%. We need to jump." "A jump?" Marcus grabbed the helm. "We're taking the glory." "With what army?" "Fire, you." The answer came as vengeance and defiance ripped through subspace, their hulls scorched but guns blazing. Tribal war chants blared from their speakers. "Oh, my army," Marcus. The glory of Tyrix's bridge smelled of burnt silk. Virax slumped in her command throne, clutching the Virox Prime vial. You'll die with me." Marcus stepped over dead crewmen, Priya's vaccine burning in his veins. He tossed her Jasmine's locket. "We're gonna live forever." Virax stared at Althea's photo. "What is this?" "Woostery." He shot her through the vial. Virox Prime foamed, melting her from the inside out. Priya stomped in, trailing blood. "A flag's up. Let's go before it. A glory's core exploded." They awoke in Defiance's med bay, the locket welded to Marcus's palm. Priya groaned, peeling burnt circuit boards off her skin. "Remind me, never to play hero." Marcus pried the locket free. Althea's face smiled through the soot. Too late. Outside, the fractured glory of Tyrix drifted, Earth's flag flapping from its corpse. Across the galaxy, 1,000 chains shattered. The Vengeance's engines hummed a funeral dirge as the fleet gathered beyond Pluto's corpse. Marcus traced the names etched into his console. Lila, Jasmine, Ray's, each letter a scar. Priya slumped beside him, her hair matted with coolant fluid, fingers dancing across a holographic keyboard, the shield harmonics at 67%, neural nets glitching. And someone, she kicked a sparking wire, needs to fix the damn oxygen recycler. She bounded onto the bridge, his fractal tattoos glowing under emergency lights. The tribes are locked in. Amazon squads rigging the railguns with poison darts said it's traditional. Marcus didn't look up. Tell them tradition won't stop plasma fire. You tell them she tossed a dart embedding it in the ceiling. They think you're the ghost of some vengeance god, Priya snorted. More like the god of bad haircuts. A proximity alert drowned their laughter. The council's armada shimmered into view, a wall of polished warships flanking Tarsus. The planet's defenses glinted like a diamond necklace. The priority target, Marcus growled, highlighting the central shield generator. Hit that, and their capital's naked. Priya leaned over his shoulder, reeking of burnt coffee, and hit these. She tagged 3 unmarked satellites. A sensor relays, blind them first. Since when are you, Sun Tzu? Since Jasmine. She pulled up a battle plan dated 2 days before her death, as she mapped their weak points. Called it Plan C for catastrophe. Marcus's jaw tightened. Should have been Plan J. On Tarsus, High Arbiter Niloth watched the human fleet through cracked viewports. Activate the Virox Prime. Flood their ships. His aide trembled. But sir, the delivery system isn't. Niloth backhanded him, the blow echoing through the marble chamber. There. Turn their blood to acid. Vengeance shuddered as the first wave struck. Priya clung to her console, cursing. They're jamming our comms, can't coordinate with Defiance. Marcus banked hard, dodging a plasma volley. Use the locket. The what? He yanked the chain from her neck, slotting the AL 1994 locket into a jury-rigged port. Althea's hologram flickered, her fist raised. Static resolved into a secure channel. Ty gaped. You turned a necklace into a transmitter? Jasmine did. Priya grinned, rapid typing. Encryption keys in the engraving. Now shut up and target those relays. The Defiance broke formation, its hull screaming tribal war chants. Railgun darts pierced the satellites, unleashing Priya's virus. Tarsus defenses spasmed, shield generators targeting their ships. A friendly fire. Kai whooped as a council cruiser disintegrated. Eating each other, Marcus dove toward the Pride of Tarsus, the council's flagship. Priya, hail them. They'll never answer. Hail them. Niloth's gaunt face filled the screen. You dare. Marcus cut him off with Jasmine's recording. Earth remembers. He fired. The Pride of Tarsus exploded in silence, its golden hull scattering like confetti. Priya gripped her armrests. 1 down. 900 to go. Ty pointed at the planet. Why is that city glowing? Tarsus capital pulsed red. Virox prime missiles streaking skyward. Incoming. Priya slammed the evasion thrusters. They're nuking their damn planet. Marcus targeted the launch sites. Not if we glass them first. Kai grabbed his arm. There's kids down there. There were kids in Berlin too. Marcus locked the weapons. You think mercy survives genocide? Hovered over the abort codes. Jasmine would have. Jasmine's dead, Marcus fired. The missiles detonated in their silos, igniting Tarsus' atmosphere. Firestorms raged. The Vengeance shook, alarms wailing. Kai stared at the burning planet. We killed them all. No. Priya pulled up radiation scans. Underground bunkers. Lots of bunkers. Marcus stood, his shadow stretching across the carnage. Then let's finish this. The Ashbourne's wreckage chose that moment to collide with them. They woke in a life pod, Tarsus filling the viewport. Priya coughed blood. Engine's gone. Gun's dead. We're a sitting duck. Marcus clutched the locket. Not yet. He opened a fleet-wide channel. All ships, this is Vey. Burn the sky. The Dreadnoughts answered. The life pod spun lazily toward Tarsus, its cracked viewport framing the planet like a bleeding jewel. Marcus clenched Jasmine's locket, the engraving AL 1994, biting into his palm. Priya spat blood onto the control panel, her fingers dancing across dead switches. Engine's gone. Calm's dead. We're a fancy coffin. She pressed his face to the glass. Defiance is still fighting. And holy hell, is that Ashbourne's wreckage towing a cruiser? Marcus grabbed the emergency kit. The suit up. Priya froze. For what? A picnic on the hellscape? For her. He tossed her Althea's photo. You really think Jasmine hid a virus in this locket just for calms? Priya squinted. The fractal border. It's Indari cipher code. Our code now. Marcus jammed the locket into the pod's wiring. Sparks flew. You've got 5 minutes to turn this junk into a bomb. He yanked open a supply locker. Or we die louder than she did. The council bunker stank of fear and incense. High Arbiter Naleth huddled behind his throne, clutching a Virox vial. We seal the doors, flood the tunnels. His aide hesitated. But the civilians, drown them. Marcus kicked open the vents, his stolen Endari armor clanking. Priya's voice crackled in his ear. A left at the fork, then straight to Naloth's little panic room. She sniffed the air. Oh, smells like burnt popcorn? A crisped bureaucrat, Marcus muttered. Keep moving. They found the Arbiter alone, his crown askew. Priya's hacked feed played on the loop above him. Jasmine's last moments, the locket clutched to her chest. Naloth hissed. You'll burn for this. Marcus lunged, slamming him onto the throne. You don't get to burn. He pried open the Virox vial. You choke. She grabbed his arm. Wait, let the galaxy see. Priya's hologram flickered. Already broadcasting. Smile, you radiant bastard. Naloth thrashed as Marcus forced the vial down his throat. This is for every kid you turn to dust. The Arbiter's scream gurgled. Priya switched feeds. Alive to the outer rim. Keep it rolling. The bunker fell silent. Kai stared at Naloth's twisted corpse. Now what? Marcus placed the locket on the throne. And now we remind them. Althea's hologram filled the chamber, her 1994 protest shirt blazing. Priya's voice boomed through dying speakers. We're not your judges. We're your reckoning. Years later, children pressed their hands to the war memorial's glass, marveling at the battered locket inside. What does AL 1994 mean? An old Kai smiled, his fractal tattoos faded. It means we don't ever forget. Above Earth, the Dreadnoughts floated silent, their hulls etched with names. Priya's voice still haunted the calms, splicing midnight jazz with battle hymns. And Marcus? They found him one dawn on the Greenland ice, frozen beside Vengeance's skeleton, Jasmine's dog tags in one hand and Lila's in the other. The snow tasted like ashes, like freedom, like enough. And that was the end of the story. Comment below if you want the next chapter, and hit that like button. Please subscribe, turn on the bell, and as always, keep the last light burning.